Hi, I am Amer. Have you ever wondered what is copper 2 sulfate? These are some characteristics of copper 2 sulfate. Firstly, copper 2 sulfate is an organic compound. Its chemical formula is CuSO4. It is a soluble salt with blue color and also known as cupric sulfate, copper sulfate, blue vitriol or bluestone. Now, what is chemical properties of copper 2 sulfate? In terms of solubility, copper 2 sulfate is highly soluble in water, forming a blue solution. This solubility is due to the formation of complex ions in solution. Next, copper sulfate reacts with acids to form copper salt, water, and sulfuric acid. For example, reaction with HCl. Moreover, copper 2 sulfate react with bases to form copper 2 hydroxide. Lastly, copper 2 sulfate can be reduced by certain reducing agents. For example, it reacts with zinc to produce metal and zinc sulfate.
Hi, I'm Hannes. As we all know, copper 2 sulfate has been widely used in medicine. Now, let's see the application of copper 2 sulfate in medicine. First of all, copper 2 sulfate can act as an emetic. Emetic is a medicine or other substance which causes vomiting. It is also used as an emergency treatment of poisoning with certain toxins that have been swallowed. Apart from that, copper 2 sulfate also used to test blood samples for diseases like anemia. A drop of donor's blood is put into a copper 2 sulfate solution. If the drop sinks sufficiently, then it is judged that the donor's hemoglobin levels are high enough to donate.
Hi everyone. I'm Kevin. As we all know, copper 2 sulfate is highly toxic. Then, what makes copper 2 sulfate a beneficial chemical in medical field? Firstly, we need to understand the mechanism of action of copper 2 sulfate as an emetic. When ingested, the copper ions in copper sulfate irritates the gastrointestinal tract. Subsequently, our body induces nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea as a protective mechanism. Next, why is copper sulfate used in hemoglobin test? This is because copper sulfate coagulates a protein called serum albumin and forms a membrane around the blood drop. This membrane prevents the solution from becoming cloudy.
Hello, I am Amal. Now let's talk about the side effects and risk. Copper sulfate can cause severe eye irritation. Eating large amounts of copper sulfate can lead to nausea, vomiting, and damage to body tissues, blood cells, the liver, and kidneys. With extreme exposures, shock and death can occur. Well, how these side effects can be managed? The management of copper sulfate poisoning centers on 4 key principles. First, reducing absorption. Second, close observation for complications. Third, supportive therapy. And lastly, chelation therapy to remove active copper from the body.
Let's have a look at the example of case where a patient had an umbilical granuloma, which was resistant to standard treatments. Therefore, a single application of copper 2 sulfate was used as a topical antiseptic treatment. The solution was carefully prepared and applied directly to the granuloma. Fortunately, within a short period the granuloma showed significant improvement. The antibacterial properties of the copper 2 sulfate helped reduce infection and promoted healing. The granuloma gradually healed and the patient experienced reduced symptoms. Apart from that, copper 2 sulfate is also associated with innovation in cancer therapy, where copper-based nanomaterials are being explored by scientists for their potential in anti-tumor treatments. They leverage copper's unique properties to target and kill cancer cells effectively.